today I want to do a yoga class with you guys, and I just wanted to also talk a little bit about yoga, the spiritual path, and Christmas symbolism. So just to begin with, I wanted to talk about like the purpose of yoga, or one of the main purposes of yoga is to try and awaken this kundalini, or your life force energy, or some people call it the chi. And this kind of energy sits in the base of our spine. It sits really dormantly, and it doesn't get used by most of us. It's not actually active. And so what we're trying to do with our practices is to awaken this energy and it kind of unlock our full potential, or bring ourselves into our full power. And so we talk about energy in general. Everything is energy. The universe is energy. We are energy. Nature is energy, right? And so to understand our inside energies, we have thousands of energy channels, or nadis, that are running through our body, and they're sending the energy from place to place, into the organs, into the cells, into all the different bits and pieces, right? And this is kind of charging us and giving us our motivation for life, and giving us our kind of power. And a lot of these energy channels are quite small and subtle, but we have the three main energy channels, and they run from the base of our spine all the way up and into our nostrils. Okay, so you have the main energy channel, which is the central energy channel, runs along the spine, and then you also have the Inga and the Pingala, they call it. There's basically the two other energy channels that start from the nostrils, and they run down the side of the spine. They cross over and they come back. They cross over the central spine and then they come back. Okay, and so these two energy channels are linked up into your nervous system. So on the right side, on the right nostril, this is connected to your sympathetic nervous system, which is where your fight or your flight response is coming from. So it's more related to the active side of your body, or your sun side, your heat side, your fire, or the masculine energy that's inside of you. Okay, and then you have on the left side is linked with your parasympathetic nervous system. So this is kind of the opposite. It's more in the space where you are more relaxed, more chilled, more quiet, more reflective. This is your moon energy, or your feminine energy. This is what they refer to spiritually. Okay, so you have the biological side of it connect with your nervous system, and then you hear the spiritual side of it. That's what we talk about when we talk about the masculine, the feminine energy inside of us. It's not to do with our gender, it's to do with our energies. Okay, and the idea is that when these two energies are balanced, and we do that through using yoga and meditation and breathing exercises and a few other things. When these two energy channels are nice and balanced, then the central energy channel is free. It's not blocked anymore. All your chakras, the different chakras, are completely free, and the energy that's sitting at the base of our spine is awakened and kind of free-flowing. Basically, freeing this energy is going to increase your well-being. It's like having a real power boost in your system. Okay, so and on one hand, it's going to make you more connected and understanding about yourself, and it's going to make you more connected and understanding about the environment and the people in your environment that are around you. Okay, so you're going to have more openness, more connectivity. It's going to develop your concentration and your mindfulness. You know, you'll be able to be in the present moment for much longer periods of time. Your confidence will be super developed. You'll have much more power and ability to do the things in your life. You know, most of the time we have these great ideas about what we want to do, about how we want to be, what we want to achieve, but sometimes the will or the motivation to really go after and do that is really difficult. You know, we have these fears about ourselves, about can we really do it, and are we capable, or are these thoughts that I'm not good enough, are they going to win? So rather than face the disappointment of failing or making mistakes, we decide in the end, we pull away, we don't do them in the first place. But this kind of energy takes these doubts completely out of the picture. This kind of energy gives you this confidence and this ability to see yourself for the amazing, capable person that you are, and everything that comes your way you will grab and you will go for it and you will really live life to the fullest. And this is what it's all about. And also one of the most important things is this ability of resilience that you will have. So you're going to have so much more capability to endure the times in life where things are really getting tough. And believe me, this happens for everybody at one point or another. Most of us have already had many traumas or many things to deal with just growing up. Life is going to happen to you one way or another, and life is ups and downs and ups and downs. We suffer from sickness, we suffer from getting older, we suffer from losing people, from letting go of people. All these kind of things will affect us at some point. Maybe they stay for a while and then they disappear, but they will come again. This is the nature of the impermanent cycle. Okay, but the question is how can we deal with these things? And normally it can be very difficult for us when we go through these down periods. We get pulled and we put ourselves into depression. We feel negative about ourselves, and we go into real suffering. When you have this kind of balance inside your body, you can hit these things head on. They will always affect you, they will always touch you, but your ability to deal with them will be so much better, and to come out the other side much quicker. So this is what resilience is, your ability to handle when life gets a bit rocky. So you can see examples where this is true. You can see and you can meet people who have been through this, who have developed this kind of energy, and you can see how they're living, and they are really people to look up to and to follow. And we can do these things ourselves. Yeah, there are many symbols for this kind of spiritual path, and that exist in religions and cultures all over the world, and they're right in front of our eyes, and most of the time I don't even realize them. And one thing I've kind of learned about as I've done kind of yoga studies is they've shown me that even, for example, for the Christmas tree, how there's so much more symbolism behind it than we realize. There's so much more symbolism than just this kind of commercial activity or this day of buying things for other people. It's much more than that. Okay, and even just the picture of the Christmas tree itself is kind of this representation of the physical body. Okay, so the roots of the tree are the legs of the body, the arms of the body are the branches of the tree. The different layers of the tree are symbols or representations of the different chakras at different levels, and the colors of the balls. The little trinkets that we put on the Christmas tree to decorate them. All these different colors symbolize again the different colors of the chakra systems. Okay, so this tree is kind of this physical representation of us and our energy system. And the star at the top sits exactly where the crown chakra would be. And so in effect, it's kind of like this is the shining light, or the divine light, or the divine energy that you connect to once all your chakra systems have been developed, once your body is pure, and once all the energy systems can run freely. You become kind of connected with the consciousness around you, or you're connected with the universe, you're connected with yourself, with the divine energy, with God, chi, whatever word you have for it. You're connected with nature, This is what it's all about. So when you hear people talking about developing a connection to God, or when you hear about people that have found God, or develop this connection to the consciousness, this is what we're actually talking about. It's not this pie in the sky kind of thing. It's actually talking about when you have this connection, when you understand the inside energies that are inside you, when you understand the inner potential that is sitting inside of you. Yeah, when you release this energy, you're in your full power. And this is what it actually means when they say you are connected with God. When you have found God, it's when you are at your highest potential and you can really live a full life. And you are in your most freest state, because the inside state is where you can be free, not the external, the inside, in the mind, in the heart. And then you come down the bottom to the gifts underneath the tree. And okay, in today's society, we're buying each other, the gifts are kind of this external thing that we're giving to our loved ones, we're giving to our friends. But the symbolic representation of the gifts is more talking about these new capacities that you acquire on the inside as you go through the spiritual path. So things like intuition, things like connectedness, confidence, all these things come in different stages, and these are like these inner gifts which are so fulfilling and so rewarding. These will be the gifts that will bring satisfaction into your daily life. And the other thing I found out more recently about Jesus's birth is that you've seen this image. You can Google this image of Jesus's birth, and it shows you this picture of the baby Jesus in his cradle, and the baby is always sitting in the middle, and on either side or at opposite ends of the cradle is Mother Mary and Joseph. And what I've actually found out is that this is also another representation, or it's another symbolism, because Mother Mary is representative of the feminine energy inside of us, and Joseph, of course, is the masculine energy inside of us. And so they say when those two energies are balanced, then it starts to awaken or give birth to this divine child or this divine energy. So again, you can see like it's all around us. There are symbols of the spiritual path everywhere you go, in every tradition you look for, and it really blew my mind to see all these things in the kind of Christian the Christmas tradition. So I wanted to share this guide with you guys, because it really inspired me to see the other side of these stories. So the question is about how we actually, what do we do to balance these energies out? And what we practice is a combination of kind of breathing exercises, yoga, and meditation. You can also do chanting as well. These are super powerful techniques to help you to balance and to kind of reach this state. So today I wanted to do with you guys a session on kundalini yoga. So this is one quite powerful technique or quite powerful style of yoga to really get the energy moving and to build the energy and raise the energy from your lower chakras all the way up to the higher chakras. But this is not the only style of yoga. Basically every kind of yoga that you practice will have some kind of effect to balance your chakra system and to open the energy channels and to get this stuff moving. So it doesn't matter what style of yoga you use, it's all going to have an effect on your energy, okay? But this one I wanted to give you guys a special class to see if you can maybe become a little bit more aware of the subtle energies and maybe even feel and notice what is happening inside the body by the end of the class. Okay, and there's also a little bit of breathing work that goes with it, a little bit of mantra use and some still meditation. So I hope you guys enjoy. Grab your mats and please follow along. Okay, so let's begin the practice by sitting comfortably on your mat to begin with. Close your eyes. Start to notice your breath. Feel the inhale and the exhale through your nostril. And notice the feeling of the breath as it's moving inside your body. Maybe noticing the breath in the chest or in the stomach region. Or just staying with the breath and the tip of the nostril. And then once you have found your breath, bring your hands together into prayer position in front of your chest with the two thumbs touching the heart center or the middle space in your chest. And we're just going to practice a little bit of chanting to start to kind of to say to the mind and to the body that it's time to come to center, to come to the present moment and start developing more mindfulness. Okay, so we'll say the mantra Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. We'll repeat this 3 times together. And start by taking an in-breath into the body and exhale. And then we breathe in one more time before we begin. Breathe in. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And breathe in. And then just relax into the silence for a moment. Enjoy the stillness. And let your hands fall down to your knees. And if you like, you can keep your eyes closed just while we warm up the neck. And so we take a breath into the body. And then we're going to exhale our chin over to the left shoulder. And then as we breathe in, we're going to rotate the chin down around the collarbone and bring it back up to the right shoulder. And continue the rotation as you breathe out, guiding yourself with your chin. Breathing in on the way down and breathing out as you come over the top. And you're taking the movement nice and slow so that you can feel into the finer muscles of the neck and you can notice the sensations as you're rotating the head around. And then finishing off one more. And finally breathing the head back to center. Exhale now over to the right side. And then breathe in and change the rotation of the neck. Repeat this about 4 or 5 times. And when you're finished, breathe in to come back to center. And you can gently start to open your eyes. Let the light come back in. Okay. And then we're going to do a few dynamic movements or dynamic warm-ups. And we'll do these for a few minutes each. And this is going to help us kind of start to get the energy moving slowly inside the body. So we'll start with a spine flex. So start by placing your hands on the outside of your knees. Try to sit up nice and straight. Don't hold any tension in the body, so don't contract yourself to hold yourself up, but just sit in a more relaxed position trying to energetically rise up your spine so that it kind of straightens out this energy channel we keep talking about. Okay, and from there what we're going to do is warm up the spine a little bit by breathing in. You're going to inhale in and you're going to flex the spine backwards. So you're drawing the chest out in front of you and you're pulling back, and then as you exhale, you round the spine like this. Okay, so you're breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. And you kind of end up rocking back and forth on your pelvis with your sitting bones, and you get a little bit faster. So the movement looks like this. Okay? And we continue going with this movement. And then when you feel comfortable, when you're kind of in the flow a little bit more, you can get faster. And so we do each one of these warm-ups for around about 1 to 2 minutes each. Today I'll do it for about a minute with you, but if you want to extend it longer, you're more than welcome. Start with just a little bit in the beginning, but if you practice this more and more, then you can extend the time that you do these, and you'll feel more and more energy build up. Okay, and then you can start to slow down and come back to center. Okay, that's good. And then we're going to do a Sufi grind. So now we're going to rotate the body or the upper body around our pelvis, and this is going to ground our first chakra into the floor. So you'll see we're going to keep the hands on the knees again, and we'll be rotating. So what you do is with the upper body, you're coming down onto your left knee, and then you're drawing the body across to the right knee and then pushing back to finish the rotation. And you're breathing in when you come down and across, and you exhale to come back and around. And you do about 5 or 6 of these on each side. And so you can see, like, as we're going down and we're rotating around in our pelvis, we're kind of grinding our buttocks or our lower groin region into the ground. And this is actually where the first chakra sits. And as we rotate around here, we're activating onto the second chakra as well. Okay. So once you've done about 5 or 6 in this direction, and you come back to center, and try and remember, always rotate to the other side so that you balance out. So now coming down over the right knee, breathing in and breathing out. And maybe one more. Okay. And then coming back to center. This next one, what we're going to do is we're going to raise our hands into the air with our thumbs pointing up to the sky. So the thumbs are on the inside and the index fingers are to the outside. And you want to have the arms around about 45 degrees away from the body. So you don't want them to be too low and you don't want them to be too high, just at a nice comfortable angle. And what we're going to start now is the breath of fire. So breath of fire is kind of like this pumping action in our breath. So so instead of, how do you say this? So what we do, instead of actively breathing in and passively breathing out, is we switch that motion. So now what we're doing is we're forcefully kind of exhaling, and when we let go of that, the body is just going to naturally want to inhale. So it's going to inhale on its own, okay? And then you pump the breath out, and then the body will then breathe in on its own again. So we keep doing that. It kind of looks a little like this. So that's the breath of fire, okay? And so we put the two together. We hold up like this. And then we do this again for about a minute to 2 minutes, and we start the pumping action. Ready? Okay. And you should feel your belly is kind of pulling into the base of your spine when you make that exhale. And if you can imagine, you're pumping that energy, you imagine pumping this dormant energy at the base, you're pumping it up the body, okay? And you don't have to go fast, just more important is to keep the breath continuous. So just keep the speed, whatever speed, slow or fast, it does not matter. It will work either way, but just keep the movement, the rhythm flowing and continuous. Okay, when you're finished now, bring your thumbs together and breathe in and hold your breath. If you know how to engage your root lock, you do that by pulling your groin muscles in and up, kind of like you need to go to the toilet and you're holding on. So if you want to try that, you can engage the root lock, hold your breath as long as you can. And when you need to, when you can't hold your breath any longer, you just exhale, let the arms come down really slow. And then inhale. And then you just sit in silence for a moment. Sit in the stillness and maybe just take a second to observe in the body if there's any kind of sensations. Any stillness, any tingling, any heat. Maybe there's no change whatsoever, and that's totally fine. But just coming inside your body. You can close your eyes if that helps. Bring you inside. Be the observer of what's going on inside your body. Maybe what's happening inside the mind. Okay, and then we're moving on to the next one. So we're staying in the seated position, and for this one what we're going to do is we're going to keep that same kind of breathing rhythm, or very similar kind of breathing rhythm, and we're going to put our arms up into the air. As we do this movement, we inhale, and then we exhale, and we pull the arms down like we're trying to pull ourselves up onto whatever, and trying to pull ourselves into the air, okay? So it looks a bit like this. And that's the action, okay? So we can do that one together. Ready? Starting now. And again, don't focus on the speed, so it doesn't have to be fast and forceful. It doesn't have to be really strong. Just keep the motion continuous and flowing. And that's more important. You might feel some heat starting to build up. And again, just imagine that this energy, you're pumping that energy up through your spine, from the base of your spine up to the crown of your head. If you're a visual person, you can imagine that energy as light, sitting at the base, And you're pumping that light through your body. The light's getting bigger with every breath. And relax. Again, you can feel the sweat starting to roll now. This is good, this means it's working, the energy is starting to move. Okay, and we just sit for a moment and then let's come over onto our hands and knees. Okay, so we want to start to do a child's pose, a cat-cow pose. So most of us know this action. We've practiced this at the project many times before. Okay, and what you want to do is have your hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, keeping the spine in the beginning a very neutral position. And then what you're doing as you're breathing in is you're arching the back, you're pulling the chest forward, looking up, and you're pulling the sitting bones behind you and away from the body. And your stomach will naturally pull towards the floor. Okay? So that's the inhale, and then on the exhale, you round off by pushing the floor away from you. So you push into the floor, push the ground away, and then the spine pulls backwards. The stomach pulls into the back of the spine. The head hangs freely, the neck is free, so there's no tension. And that's the exhale. And so normally when we practice yoga, we do this quite slow, or we do this in the rhythm of our breath. But today, because we are working on the energy, we want to make the movement a little bit more dynamic. So again, we'll do this for about a minute or so. It looks like this. Okay, so ready to begin? Let's go. You can close your eyes, that might make it nicer for you too. So we're coming to the end. Now, when you exhale next, exhale, breathe out, and then hold your breath. Engage in the root lock if you like. And then breathe in, arch your back, breathe in deeply, and again hold your breath and engage the root lock. And then slowly exhale, come back to neutral position. And you can exhale, come down into child's pose. So if you like to, you can take your knees out to the side of the mat. So you can come down a little bit further, extend the fingers out in front of you. Place the forehead onto the ground. And then start to let the body just completely relax and see if you can just let the breath become deeper and deeper. Okay. You start to come up, and then we're going to turn over onto our back. So come around into a seated position. Extend the legs, and then you can come down to the floor. I will just get my little alarm clock so we know how long we're going to do this for. Okay, so this is the last warm up before we start Kriyas. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to lift our legs off the floor and our upper body off the floor. We're going to hold ourselves in the air, and we're going to use the breath of fire again to pump again the energy from this way up to the top. So this is pretty powerful one, and if you can practice this every day, it's it'll get things moving very quickly for you. But it's also not the easiest, so just take your time with it and see if you need to make any variations. You can. So normally we start by taking our legs off the floor, if I can do it. So normally we start by coming up and we're holding our legs and our arms off like this. If it's too much on the back or on the lower back or the legs, you could probably just stay like this with the upper back off the floor, and you can engage the energy this way. If you can, go a little further and engage into the belly, engage into the quads, engage into your whole body. And then we breathe in, rise up, and then we start to pump. Okay, and we do that again for about 1 minute. So let's try that all together, whichever variation suits you. Ready? Breathing in. For maybe 30-40 seconds, and come down, and then hold your breath, breathe in, engage in the root lock, hold your breath, keep going as long as you can, and then gently release, let go, relax. Notice the breath. If the breath wants to breathe straight away, or if it's happy to slow down. How is the breath now sitting in your body? How does it feel? What are the sensations running through your body? Is anything happening in your mind, or is it quiet? Is it still? Okay, so coming back up again, we bend the knees. Take the buttocks over to one side and then let the knees fall down to the floor. Take the palm, press the palm into the ground, and bring yourself back up to a seated position. Okay. Alright, so that was the kind of warm up to get the kind of energy, the heat moving a little bit inside of us. Now we're going to practice 3 Kriyas. 3 very easy Kriyas that we can do, and we'll see how we can compare how we're feeling between each one. And if you like, you can stay in the seated position if that feels more comfortable for you. But normally what we do is we come over onto our knees And if you like, you can also put a pillow in between your legs to sit there more comfortably, or I like to roll my ankles or my heels to the side and I sit between my heels. And so the first kriya that we'll be doing today is called Fists of Anger. And this one is to do with the fact that we have lots of kind of low negative emotions or patterns inside of us. And the kriya is especially kind of made to help us focus on these and try to let them go and leave these things in the past. Because this kind of emotion, they tend to hold us back from being ourselves, and they make us miss out on a lot of opportunities in our life. So these things will weigh us down, and this activity or this kriya is to help us kind of clear these energies from the mind so that we can make space for new ideas, new feelings, positive emotions, wholesome feelings. And this will lead us to a totally different way of living, totally different way of being. So what we're doing is we're taking our hands, we close our thumbs into the palm, we take our four fingers, we close over and we make the fist, okay? And we're putting our emotions, our anger into these fists. And this is what we're going to let go of by rotating the hands behind the head, as if we were swimming backwards, doing some backstroke in a swimming pool somewhere. So we're doing this and we're trying to shed away these negative emotions, thoughts and feelings from our life. So we're doing backstroke, we keep our eyes closed and we're breathing in deep and slow but vigorously. So it looks like this. Okay, so it's good while we are practicing this is try to focus on whatever it is that you want to let go, whatever it is that is in your life that's really kind of holding you back from being who you are. And we're going to try and see if we can let those go, and this way we can make some space for new opportunities, new experiences, new people, etc., etc. Okay, so we'll start together. These kriyas we're going to do for a little bit longer, so we'll probably do for around 3 minutes. And again, if you want to take it further with a bit of practice, you can extend the time that you make these kriyas. But we'll just start off with 3 to begin. Okay. Okay, so ready? Let's go. So for me, I want to start visualizing my fear of rejection. This is a really negative emotion that holds me back from a lot of people in my life. Because of this fear of losing somebody, it makes me not want to actually get close to anybody in the first place. So while inside me I have this inner longing to be connected, to be loved, to be loving, there's another part of me, just this fear part of me that sits there and it holds me back just in case I might get hurt again. So this is something that I would really like to leave behind, because it holds me back from so many beautiful people and so many beautiful experiences with them. So this is what I'm going to focus on today, to try and let go. Keep going. 1 more minute left. Really imagine what your life would be like without this thought. Who would you be? How would you be?
if you didn't have these negative emotions or negative experiences blocking your way. Okay, and so we're going to start to come to the end now, and what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, bring the arms up, hold the breath and engage your root lock. Hold the breath. And then when you need to exhale, slowly exhale, bring the arms down gently. Until you come to the floor. And just stay there for a moment, just stay in the stillness and the quietness. Enjoy the feeling and become the observer of what's happening inside the body. Feel any sensations running through the arms, the chest, the shoulders. Okay, and then for the next kriya, what we're going to do, we're going to interlace our fingers. And so for women, we're going to interlace the fingers that the left hand sits on top of the right. So the left thumb will be on top of the right thumb. And for men, it's the opposite. So the men have the right over the left. It's the more natural kind of way of interlacing the fingers. Okay, so ladies, left over right. And then you extend your index fingers, and then we point straight up to the sky. Arms beside the ears. We close our eyes. And then we're pumping the navel again. So we're using the breath of fire to pump the stomach to the back of the spine and to rise the energy up through the body. So imagine that you're pumping that energy from the base of your spine and you can feel it moving its way to the top. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, so that we'll do that together again for 3 minutes. So when you're ready, and go. Okay, keep going. Halfway through. If you're starting to shake or you're starting to sweat, this is a good sign. Means that you're working and the energy is working. The energy is moving. 1 more minute to go. "20 seconds. Okay, and breathe in. Engage the root block. Hold your breath. Feel the energy moving up the body. Hold as long as you can. And then when you need to exhale, release very gently, bringing the arms down. And you can place your hands in Gyan Mudra, so you touch the index fingers and the thumbs together. And lay them on your thighs or your knees. Just relax into the quiet. Enjoy the stillness, enjoy the sensations that are running through your body. And completely relax and let go. Okay, and the last kriya that we're going to do today is more of it's an addiction meditation. So it's meant to target the addictions that we have in our mind, in our heart, and the external addictions, and it's going to help us to rewire our brain so that we can get rid of these negative addictions and maybe come to a more wholesome kind of addiction, okay? So addiction is common for every single person. It's not something that is unique to us. Each and every one of us has an addiction to some degree or another, and it might be an external addiction, some kind of substance addiction, whether that might be alcohol or drugs or food or many other things, but it can also be an internal addiction. So we can be addicted to a certain type of thought pattern, or we can be addicted to certain kind of negative emotions like sadness or anger or drama. And this occurs because we've had so much of this in our life, and either that these kind of emotions can lead to us seeking, or this kind of emotions are kind of this hardwired way that we can receive attention from other people. And also it can be that we're so used to these emotions that we don't really have an idea about how to feel the more positive emotions, and it can even be scary for us to even try to be in these more positive states. So we stay in our addictions to the more negative side. Yeah, so we practice this meditation to try and rewire the brain and keep us away from this unwholesome addictions, and try to bring us to a place where we can bring in different practices into our life. So doing something like yoga or meditation, or eating healthy foods, exercising, meeting people, hugging people, being open to people. These are much more wholesome addictions than what most of us tend to grab when we're not feeling good. So the idea is that we're going to repeat the mantra Sa Ta Na Ma, and we're going to repeat that in our mind. So we won't say that out loud. We bring the thumbs to the temple, the outside of the temple, and we just sit them there lightly. Don't press into your temples. Try not to put any pressure on there, because it can lead to some pain afterwards. So just very gently pressing on the outside, okay? And we'll close our eyes, and every time we say one of the syllables, Sa Ta Na Ma, in our mind, we're going to clench onto our teeth. So again, not pressing too hard, but just a gentle clenching of the teeth every time we say one of the syllables. Okay? So this seems like a very kind of subtle activity. Seems like we're not really doing so much here in this, but it's actually quite powerful, especially for the mind, in rewiring these old patterns or these old addictions and these old behaviors that are unwholesome for us, so that we can make way for better habits that are going to improve on our lives and not hold us back. So we bring our thumbs up to the temples, just gently on the outside, okay? And we'll begin this together. So we close our eyes and we repeat Sa Ta Na Ma in our mind, clenching our teeth on every syllable. Sa Ta Na Ma. Okay. One and a half minute to go. Keep going. Sa, ta, na, ma. Ten more seconds. Okay, then take a deep breath. Clench your teeth together and hold for 10 seconds. And then exhale like a cannon. Breathe in again. Clench your teeth. And exhale. One more time, breathe in. Clench the teeth. And breathe out. Bring your fingers together in Gyan Mudra. Bring them down and close your eyes. Relax and enjoy. And then to finish off, we're going to come down into Shavasana. So moving very gently, because we've been sitting in this position for a little while, just take it easy. Take the feet from out from under the knees. And then extend legs to the edge of your mat. Maybe take the heels to the outside. And then just let the feet fall wherever they want. They're nice and comfortable. And then we're going to lower down one vertebrae at a time until you come to the floor. Okay. Making any adjustments that you need to in your body so that you feel that the back or your lower back or your pelvis is connected with the ground. The thighs can fall to the side. The arms can sit comfortably 45 degrees from the body with the palms facing up. The back of the head is touching the floor. The shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And then we start to close our eyes. And just come inside the body. And let the body completely relax and let go of everything. See if you can melt your body into the floor beneath you. Maybe get to the point where it's difficult to tell the difference between the outside of the body and the ground, that you become one with the ground. Just relax and letting go. Feel the breath as it's coming in. Feel the breath as it's moving. Feel the inhale and the exhale of the breath through the nostrils. See if you can notice the movement of the breath and where it moves in your body, either in the chest, the stomach, or the nostrils. Noticing the natural flow, the natural rhythm. As the body breathes on its own. And you can stay in this position for for as long as it feels good for you. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And just try to keep connected with the flow of your breath. And so we're going to finish up here, start bringing some awareness back into the body. Again, if you want to continue this, you can just pause your video. And otherwise we start to wriggle our fingers, wriggle our toes. Make some movements in the wrists, in the ankles. Then you begin to bend one knee and then the other. And turn over to your side so you come into the fetal position. Stay here for a few breaths and just enjoy the comfort and the security of this position. And then using your palm into the floor, press the floor away from you and start to come up slowly into a seated position once more. Okay, you can bring the palms together in front of the heart center or the middle of the chest. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe into the body and exhale. Okay. And like we started this practice, one more time we'll chant the mantra Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, just to signal to the mind that we want to bring ourselves into this centered position. We want to bring ourselves into the present, balance our energies and be more mindful. Okay, so breathe in and out. And then we'll breathe in again to begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Breathing in. One more time. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And if you want, you can rub your palms together back and forth, generate some heat. And then place your hands on the part of your body that you feel needs it, whether it's your eyes, maybe your cheeks, your neck, your shoulders. Give your shoulders a squeeze. Arms, the back, lower back. thighs, the knees, the calf muscles. And then begin to open the eyes. Coming back to the light. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. I really hope you enjoy this class, and I hope maybe that you get a chance to kind of feel the inner subtle energies that are running through your body. So maybe compare yourself now with how it was before and see if you can notice any more sensation in your body or a difference in how you're feeling. Okay? So take care of yourself today, drink a lot of water, and we'll see you again next time. Happy holiday.